Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about fine motor skills, particularly the pincer grip. I'm an early years and primary teacher, and more children are starting school without the fine motor skills to be able to hold a pencil. They just don't have the strength and dexterity in their fingers. And this is due to the rise in technology, more iPads and iPhones at home. So today we're doing a video to show you how to help your young toddlers develop those important fine motor skills. So we're going to be talking particularly about the pincer grip. The pincer grip is the ability to be able to hold something between your thumb and your pointer finger. It usually starts to develop around 9 to 10 months of age. It's used to pick things up, to feed themselves, and it lays the foundation for a good pencil grip when they start school. It requires the control of a small group of muscles in the hand and requires strength and hand-eye coordination. So first your babies will use what is called the inferior pincer grip. And this is when they pick things up using the pads of their fingers. Then as they get better at this, they will learn the neat pincer grip, which is where they use the tips of their fingers, and this gives them much more precision. There are all sorts of fun activities that you can do with your toddler to help them with these skills. So let's get going. So you're going to want to be using objects that are quite small for these activities to really develop that pincer grip. However, if your child is still putting things in their mouth, you're going to need to watch them very carefully because a lot of these things could be choked on. So while I was doing these activities, I was next to my son and I was watching him the whole time. So you can do the following activities with any small objects. My son really enjoys pom-poms because of the textures. This size is really good now to develop his pincer grip, so small ones. And then also things like foam beads. You can get these from the pound shop or craft shops. They're very cheap. We like to do lots of activities with these where he takes them out of certain containers and puts them into other ones using his pincer grip. So you could use anything really. We like these little cupcake trays. You could use an ice cube tray, and he really loves just picking them up and putting them in and then taking them back out again. Put it in. Yay! If your child is still using their whole hand to pick up the object, I was sent a really useful item to help with this. So I'm not sponsored, but I was sent a Pinch Perfect Pincer Pal. It's mostly supposed to be used for weaning, which I'll talk about later, but I have also found this really useful for these sorts of activities with small items. So it's basically a silicone board that sticks down. You just press down these corner pieces and you can put it on your child's feeding tray or on the floor. We have a wooden floor, so we often do it there. And it's got these little hexagonal shapes in them that you can put objects in, and your toddler can reach in with their pincer grip and get them out. These sections are too high for your child to be able to fit more of their hand in, so they are forced to just practice that pinch. We also really love to do this at snack time. So Josh loves fruit. So I often put blueberries in there and he can use his little pincer grip to get his fingers in and to take them out. And the blueberries really offer motivation to do so. If you wanted to raise the challenge even more, you could add even smaller items for them to eat, such as Rice Krispies. And then they really have to have very fine precision with the tips of their fingers to pick those up. As your child gets older, you could also use it for things like colour sorting, counting, and you could use tweezers as well and put objects in and out using tweezers. So the next activity to develop that pincer grip is pulling sticks or straws or something like that out. They can also practice putting them in. You could use cups or something trickier like a bottle. You could just use something like an egg carton, make some holes and put in some lolly sticks, and your child can pinch and pull them out. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you could do this with matchsticks, as these are much thinner. You could also do this activity with straws. So you could push them into an egg carton or into a box, or you could use something like a colander and you could insert them into the holes and then have your child pinch them and pull them out. Up next, the ribbon pull. My son really loves playing with ribbons, throwing them all around himself, picking them up. So he's really enjoyed this activity. So we just get a ribbon and we put it into a box, make a little hole, pull out the end, and then he pulls all of it out, using that pincer grip to hold the end and then pulling. This really helps to develop the strength in his fingers as he does so. A similar skill is using some kind of pull toy that has a string. So this is quite an old toy. My son inherited it from a family member, but he loves this toy and he loves just playing with the string, picking it up and pulling the dog back and forth. And this is really, really good to develop that tip of the finger because the string is very, very fine. So it means he really has to get precision to pick it up. You can get all sorts of toys like this online. Lovevery do one as well. At the moment, my son is only just taking his first steps, so he's not really confident yet to pull it along behind him as he walks, but he just loves moving it across the floor back and forth. Other toys that are really great for developing that pincer grip are puzzles, particularly ones that have got little knobs on them that they can pinch and take up. We've just started our Lovevery subscription, so we've got these ones at the moment, which are really great with the knobs. My son loves doing these puzzles and taking the pieces off and looking at the faces underneath. But you can get all sorts of puzzles online that have got little knobs that are great for that pincer grip. If you're really trying to develop that pinch, make sure you go for a puzzle where this part is nice and thin and small. Another toy that's great for fine motor control are these pop-up toys. My son's had this for a while, and previously all he was able to do was just press this button with the palm of his hand and this one as well. But recently he's really started to get into the idea of twisting, and twisting is great for developing the coordination and the strength in their fingers. It's a completely different motion, and he's now really confident at pinching and twisting to open up the little door. Any kind of coin drop is really good for that pinching skill, and we've got this one from Lovevery, and it comes with these wooden coins that you can drop in. And my son has only recently discovered how to do this. It was hard at first because he couldn't work out which way to twist them, but now he is able to get them in. However, you don't have to pay for an expensive wooden toy like this. You can just make it yourself. I often use boxes like these for this sort of activities. This was a truffles box. I've always got plenty of chocolate boxes lying around. And then I just cut a slot in it so that he could put things in with his pincer grip. So if you haven't got wooden coins or something like that at home, you could very easily use things like old cards from your wallet. So old loyalty cards, or even things like train tickets that you no longer need, and your child can practice pinching them and then dropping them in. This is very satisfying for young toddlers because of the idea of object permanence, wondering where it goes, and the challenge of taking the lid off and tipping them all out. Bath toys are also a fun way to really get that pinch as well. My son really enjoys bath toys that he can squeeze and the water can come out. You can get all sorts of cheap ones on Amazon. Anything that's not too firm or too hard for them to squeeze. Anything that's nice and soft so they can squeeze them and let the water in and then squirt it out. Another activity you can do is stickers. Children love stickers, and this is really great for precision and pinching. Older toddlers will love peeling them off and sticking them anywhere. They could use the stickers to make pictures, they could stick them on their water bottle, whatever they want to do. However, it is a bit of a challenge. If your toddler is a little younger, you might want to do something like sticky notes or post-it notes. You can stick them anywhere in your house and encourage your child to gather them all up and peel them off. If you stick them at different heights, that's even better, because then this is helping your child strengthen their legs as well. They're going to have to squat down to pick some up and then stretch back up to reach and get others. After the age of 1, some toddlers start to show interest in early mark making. Things like using jumbo crayons. We're not talking work of arts here, just some big paper, maybe some wrapping paper or something like that they can do big marks on and scribble. Just the act of holding the crayon is really good for their strength in their fingers. I really like these easy grip jumbo crayons from my first Crayola because they're great for little hands. However, my son's only 14 months. He's not really shown any interest in this yet. What he does like to do, however, is make marks with sticks. So one of his favourite things to do is to go to the park and get down in the mud, pick up all the sticks around and then push into the mud. And this is really great. He's having to hold the stick, he's having to push, which is building the strength in his fingers. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you enjoyed doing these activities with your toddler. If you did find it helpful, please subscribe. I'm a primary teacher and I've got all sorts of content on play ideas and other parenting things too, like baby-led weaning. So if you think you'd be interested in that, I'd love to see you again. Bye.